Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host, with Ed Baxter, Bison Creek Capital co-hosting with us. We've got Rebekah Duron, business coach. Rebekah, welcome to the show. Hi, Rebekah. Let's bring on Rebekah. And Ed, let's talk a little bit about Rebekah. She's going
needed. That's what she needs. She's needed.
She's needed, right. Everybody needs a business development coach because no matter how much self-initiative you have, it's always good to have a little backup, with somebody with some experience to say, here, wait, that's a bear trap over there, or keep trying.
Having owned a couple of businesses myself, if I were to go back and tap myself on the shoulder at those times, the first thing I would ask myself is that, what did I do to seek out, quote-unquote, wise counsel to help me avoid some of the pitfalls normally associated with owning businesses? We kind of talked about that with Luke a minute ago, and we talked about some of the verticals and some of the things associated with it.
Let's bring her on right now. Rebekah, you heard us talking a little bit about some of the things we're doing. Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Give us some background on you.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks for having me today. So I've been an entrepreneur all my life. I started doing sales when I was 16 years old, started my first company when I was 20 years old, built that to $3 million in 3 years. Did really well with it until the recession kind of took me down in 2009 and ended up filing bankruptcy with that company in 2012. Since then, I have built a consulting company. I have a martial arts academy. I help people, small businesses with their marketing, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. I like what I do.
Good. Talk to us about business development and growing your business.
Yeah, growing your business, I think there's three major components of it. I think there's, the lead generation, the conversion, but you also have to have systems in place within, what you do and how you service your clients and even your prospects to keep it moving. A lot of times people just want to sell, but if you don't have anything in place to, continue this process and have that system in there, things will go haywire. So yeah, I think those are the major three components of building successful business.
Now you have the 5 secrets for the perfect close. Yes. Let's talk about it.
Yes. So, I like to tell people, because so many people are afraid to sell, and I understand, it's kind of scary. I don't want to ask people for money. What if, I'll just give them a lower price so they'll say yes, which never usually happens. So I take it away from selling, and I share with people, we're not here to sell and kind of be scammy. We're really here to help people. We're here to bring about transformation and results and outcome, what they're actually looking for. So when we kind of take it away from that, then it's just a much easier process, and we can just break it down. I tell them, you're driving a car. You can imagine yourself, you're driving a car, and your prospect gets into the car with you, and you just have to take them to the destination that is going to help them. Then it's an easier process than having to learn how to sell. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's another part to this that anybody who owns a company or is in charge of one has always got to deal with, and that's management. Being able to be a good manager to keep. I was just talking to one of the other partners earlier today about this, and having to keep a positive morale so that everybody comes together as a team, and you don't have infighting or negative disruptive patterns that develop inside of a team of separately high potential people. But how do you do that? What is your secret sauce for that?
That is such a huge major part of it. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I think when you take the focus off of yourself, your own company, and you put the focus back on the team and helping them achieve something, and, what are they trying to do? Why are they in this position? What are their goals? And when you can kind of focus it around, we're here to help each other rather than, we're here to make sure that you get me to my numbers this month. Does that make sense? So I think that's a huge part of it. I've also seen that it's easier for people to kind of rise organically within a corporation or industry. Sometimes, because the ones that are just going to be amazing and just be a part of that team, you just kind of know, they feel it and they're a part of it and they give that 110%. And when you can find those, man, hold on to them.
Okay, all right. So it's a weed picking process.
Yeah,
that's what I hear.
Yeah.
All right, advice for lead generation.
Lead generation, Facebook. We use Facebook as a huge source, not the only source, but a huge source for all kinds of different industries. So prospects are out there, whether it's B2B, B2C, they're on Facebook. 2 billion users, man. It's a lot.
Okay. Versus LinkedIn or
they all serve their own purpose, and I'm not opposed to using multiple platforms at all. In fact, we do. Facebook right now is just a place where you can get lower cost leads. Okay. So instead of paying, 30 to 50 per lead, you're paying, depending on the industry, 2 to 10.
Okay. All right. So your main focus is Facebook, but all right. Well, we'll just leave that alone.
Rebekah, Ed Baxter of Bison Creek Capital. Something that's interesting about what you do is when you think about managers, owners of businesses, I guess the question I would ask for you is how important is it for the coach to also be a coach? In other words, the manager or the owner of the business having the ability to coach up those people to get the results they want out of them. How do you impart that, or how do you teach that to someone as a necessary skill for growing their business?
Right.
So you're talking, just so I can understand the question correctly, you're talking about like the owner coming in as a coach?
I mean the owner, coaching the coach.
Coaching the coach, yeah.
The owner has a coach as his team itself. So how do you coach the coach to be a coach?
Right.
There's so many different ways to do it. I'm always plugged in. How do I become better? How do I help my team become better? How do I help my clients become better? So there's just lots of learning and seeing and plugging into the people that are actually, bringing about those types of things, because there's so many people out there claiming that they can do this and can do that, but you have to be really careful. So yeah, you kind of are just always in a learning process, leading from behind and trying to always pull your people up.
Okay, yeah, because that's really going to be a case-by-case scenario, but still coaching the coach has got to be the biggest one. All right, we're about out of time. We got about a minute left, maybe a little less. Any parting words of wisdom you want any of our listeners to hear from you before we go?
If you're in business and you're not focused on sales, if you don't have a specific conversion process, then you have to find one and you have to implement it. You have to share it with your team. Because if you don't, you're losing so much money in your business.
Got it. Rebekah, thanks for being a guest on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Michael. You have a good day.
You too. Rebekah Duron, business coach, RebekahDuron.com. All right, you've been listening to CEO Money with Michael Yorba, Ed Baxter. Thanks for joining. We'll be back tomorrow with great content for you.